Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. In the last episode, we finally got across the Urutan Yensa Sandsea to the Nam Yensa here, and now we're going to cross the Nam Yensa as well to finally make it to the Tomb of Wraithwall. Did you see that Urutan Yensa just now, Kupo? They're usually a violent lot, but this one wanted help. Interested? Tell me. The Urutan Yensa are all up in a panic about a creature on the Nam Yensa Sandsea, their blood enemy, it seems. One of them was asking for help. An Urutan Yensa asking for help! Whatever it is, it's got to be bad, Kupo. You look pretty strong. Maybe you could have a swing at the thing, Kupo. It's supposed to be something like a giant tortoise. He said he'd found some treasure of the Sandsea, too. Why, you might be able to claim that as a reward if you're successful, Kupo. Alright, so let's go on and take care of that. I'm gonna continue running around as Penelo, because, you know, she didn't get enough time in the limelight. Well, really, she's not going to get much time in the limelight no matter what I do. Vaughn and Penelo have very little story significance from this point forward. They're pretty much just the tag-along kids from now on. Which is a little bit sad, but it does further differentiate who the main character is as opposed to who the point of view character is. But yeah, we've got a little ways to go before we find the Urutan Yensa, the Urutan Eater. For now, we just have to fight our way through even more Urutan Yensa. And now we're all outward, all the girls! I'm gonna run around as Ash. I don't think I've given her a chance to shine. Either. Well, yeah. She and Penelo haven't really had a chance to be in the limelight, and while I guess they have more opportunities to do so than Vossler, our guest party member for the time, would, I still feel like now rather than later is a good time for it. Plus, we've had Vossler around for quite a bit, so he's getting a bit stale. Not that he's not useful still, just stale. That and having Ash be the first person to attack really makes short work of all these guys. Her magic stat is through the roof. Granted, I think that might be more her gear and less her individual stats, I think. Not 100% sure though. I remember going through here with Bosch as a black mage, and I think he got the same results. So that would make it more gear dependent since he's obviously a worse mage than Ash. Alright, so that you see those guys running off there. This is the section the Urutan Yensa Eater shows up in, so I would recommend changing your gambits to target the foe with the highest max HP. Let's see, we got Penelo out for now. Just for now. I think it's also weak to an element other than wind. We'll see once we get there, and I'll change Ash's gambits accordingly. No, it's weak to wind too. I'll just leave her on arrow. Oh, and I forgot to change Vossler's. Silly me. But having a black mage around for this part is very handy, because after you kill the Urutan Eater, all the remaining Urutan Yensa will become hostile to you, and that's not a good thing. Although that said, Ash just killed them all anyway, so we're not going to get their help to fight this guy. I think since he's really big, you could run around as whoever he's targeting and continue running around him, and he might not be able to hit you. I think he already proved me false, though. Anyway, once he's down, it gives you a special notice to know that the enemy you just killed has been killed because you killed it. I'm gonna change my gambits back. One other gambit setup I probably should have mentioned is you could always have one right above it for foe party leader's target attack, and then follow it up with the foe lowest HP. So that way your secondary party members are targeting the same one as whoever your party leader is, as opposed to everyone just going for whoever the lowest targeted, the lowest health ally or enemy in range is. It can help them keep a little bit focused, and focusing down enemies is usually a pretty good idea. That said, it's not required. I've always gotten through the game just fine by having everyone target the lowest HP. Well, for the most part. In most areas. I'm just rambling again. And now I'll keep running around as Ash. I'll switch around to Vossler later on. And since we've already been here, I'm just gonna speed this up. Yeah, if you're playing this version of the game yourself, you don't have to go at the same pace I've been going to. You can keep the fast forward on at all times. No one's gonna make you do anything. Anyway, once we get back to here, we talk to the Sandsea Moogle again. You killed the wild scourge of the Sandsea, Kupo? Amazing! By the way, that Urutan Yensa from before, he just went by Kupo. Maybe he was going to look for that treasure for you. Unusually kind of him. He was headed for the XII Yensa Sandsea. So, backtracking. I was trying to do the, that amazing line like that one chick from that one episode of Archer. So we just backtrack up this ramp, and we'll see Urutan Yensa going back the way we came, running into the Sandsea Moogle. Were you off looking for a reward, Kupo? Did you find the treasure of the Sandsea? Just where is he going, Kupo? One thing I just now noticed about the Urutan Yensa, to show just how observant I am, is that they look an awful lot like a beast tribe they added into the MMO Final Fantasy XIV in the Heavensward expansion. They look a little bit like the NAF. How did I not notice that before? Or maybe I did and I just remembered it. Anyway, more cutscene, but no dialogue. Maybe I should try and make up what they're saying, but I'm not very good at doing that. I can't understand Urutan Yensa. Kupo! A gathering of the Urutan Yensa! A truly rare occurrence, Kupo! Who is this guy anyway? Kupo? Kupo Po? Wait, what's happening, Kupo? Wait, no, they're going to execute him. Don't do this. The creature would still be at large if it weren't for his plea for help, Kupo. You shame us by seeking aid outside the tribe. Urutan Yensa are lords and masters of the Great Sea. We seek the aid of none. Your words are the howling of the sand to my ears. I condemn you to dust. I should have tried to do that more feminine, because that's a woman. Gasp! What have you done, Kupo? You bring him back. Those who sully our name will be punished, be they foemen or kin. They must pay the honor price. There can be no forgiveness. I would destroy you too, but I am merciful. Better you live to tell the world that the Urutan are not to be taken lightly. Now, leave! Wait, I thought she was ordering the Moogle, but they're the ones running away. Weird. Anyway, we talked to the Sandsea Moogle again. That rogue Urutan, he wouldn't have been happy back with his clan, I'm sure of it, Kupo. Maybe this Moogle's an anthropologist on a, expedition. That flower, it's rare to see one blooming in the Sandsea, Kupo. Maybe the treasure that he found was this? And you go ahead and pick the flower. A bunch of berries hang from it. Pick the berries! And yes, the XII berries are exactly what we're going to need a little bit later. Then it's back into the Nam Yensa, and I'm just going to speed up past this part that we've already been through while killing all the enemies because they deserve to die. For the crime of being enemies. So recently, I actually got picked up an older game. I was really craving it, so I ordered it online. It was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX on the Nintendo DS. The most recent Yu-Gi-Oh! Game they put out was kind of crap, and I remember picking up Yu-Gi-Oh! GX back when the anime version was still popular. And playing through it again really makes me wish that, well, two things actually. First, it makes me wish that the game had been more disconnected from the anime. It tries to follow the story of the GX line up until the end of its card releases, which was at a point I don't remember. The second thing is I wish the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime had focused more on the fact that everyone there were supposed to be novice duelists learning how to play the game. So the school could have instead been shipping in supplies, and Jaden, the main character, could have been learning how to play steadily and improving his deck, and we get to see him getting the cards to improve his deck and working over strategies, rather than him just putting new cards in his deck off screen and then winning every duel like Yugi did in the main anime. Like, it's a real problem with most card-based anime shows. Like, they don't focus on the actual aspect of playing a card game, which is studying up on the meta game and then building your deck to try and counter that meta or excel in that meta. It's just they have all the cards they need to win when they need to win, and the stakes are always high because of course they are. It's a little disconcerting. I think that was someone else's observation though. Probably someone who does a more anime-centric, or an anime exclusive channel. I'll have to find the video and get you a link to it. Anyway, we're gonna continue exploring the Nam Yensa Sandsea. I'm gonna head back this way first. Run! Now that I've turned on the 2 times, I can't turn it off. Well, I mean, I can, but I don't want to. It looks like they tried to hit Ash with silence, but fortunately, she's immune. Thanks to that... No, wait, no, she's not. Never mind. She's still wearing the bangle. Pinello's got the thing that makes her immune to silence. It just missed. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! The GX series really, in my opinion, it suffered because Jaden was just an already talented duelist. He didn't need to go to school to learn how to play the game. He just knew how to play the game. It could have been much more interesting if Cyrus, his kid's sidekick who was bad at the game, was the main character, and we got to steadily see him grow from his perspective instead of from Jaden's. But that's neither here nor there. This is Final Fantasy, not Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see. Mellow gained a level. No, that was Fran. Fran gained a level. She's catching up. Tough to Phoenix down. Maybe I shouldn't have turned on that 2x thing for so long. Now it feels really sluggish. But I do want to keep a slower pace. That's probably a bit more interesting to watch. Maybe. You'll have to let me know in the comments. If you want me to keep things sped up while exploring like this, I'll do it. Well, you know what? I was mostly slow for the XII Yensa, so I'll go ahead and do the rest of the Nam Yensa as sped up. So that way you can see a little bit of both, and then just let me know which you prefer, and if I don't hear anything, then I'll just go with what I prefer. And then I'll definitely make sure to keep it slow for boss fights, though. Yeah, these guys are weak to Earth, and Earth is a tougher element to target. You don't learn any offensive Earth spells. I think the only way you can deal Earth damage is with one of the summons that we haven't even started to unlock yet, so I shouldn't have brought it up. Or with specific ammunition for hand bombs, I believe. I believe they get special Earth element ammunition, and then all your attacks with the equipped hand bomb will deal that element in damage. There are also a few weapons, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, gonna explore this section right down here real quick, and then we'll move on a bit farther. And these guys have that attack called Gust. I think it's a conal area of effect, so whoever they're targeting, they're gonna hit everyone in a cone in front of them towards that target. A bit inconvenient, but we can live with it. Alright, that goes to another area, so we'll explore this way. Now, chimeras. These guys are basically recolored cockatrices that we saw in the Ester Sand. I should probably check out their bestiary entry. Supposedly, the bestiary actually does a good job of explaining how these different enemies, who are just technically reskins of earlier enemies, are actually their own separate species. I hope I'm not trying to talk faster simply because they're moving faster. That would be bad. Kind of feels like I am, though, but maybe it's just the disconnect between everything moving faster and me trying to provide commentary over that. Maybe. I don't know. I'll see in editing, and if that's the case, then I might have to redo this section and re-upload it. Hopefully I don't, though. That would be a lot of work. But that's what multiple save files are for. Hooray! I guess I could always run around as someone other than Ash at normal speed. It's probably because of her casting time that makes it feel sluggish. Now it's gonna really feel sluggish. Is that Ash gaining a level? No, that was Penelo. And we got Ash here using that charge technique. It doesn't restore a lot of MP, and like I said, if it fails, then it drains all of your MP. So only ever have your characters use it when they're so low on MP that it can be nothing but a benefit to them. Because if you're risking your entire MP pool just to restore, I think she got 29 back, then you wasted your entire MP pool if it fails. Okay, good thing slow ward off. I don't know when we get haste. I'm pretty sure it'll be available in a store. Pretty sure. I do know there are a few good spells that are not available for purchase. You have to go out into the overworld and find them. Well, I say overworld, but they appear in a dungeon, and it's stupid. Ooh, treasure! Yeah, like, I think there's a few that show up in a very, 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 very hard to explore dungeon. We'll get there later. I'm getting ahead of myself. A balaclava. No, it's actually weaker. I know it boosts his strength, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I just want to go with the highest magic resist for the moment, which is what all head armor actually boosts. Ash got hit with silence that time. Do we know Vox? No. Well, if we do, Penelo can't use it. So, Ash will just have to use some Echo Herbs on herself. Yeah, Vox is the name of the spell that cures silence. Very handy to have, but you want to make sure you keep Echo Herbs with you anyway, because if your person who knows Vox gets silenced, then they can't remove it from themselves with Vox, because they can't cast any spells. I don't know of any techniques that remove status conditions. Balthier does start with a weak healing technique. I probably should have mentioned that a lot sooner before now. First Aid, it only restores HP to allies who are in HP critical. That's when they're extremely low on health and they start to glow red. It does not restore a lot of hit points, so you're better off not even using it at all. Vossler grew to level 25. And more treasure. That's something up here? Yes, flowers. More Urutan Yensa in this area. Oh, I'm starting to get a little dizzy. I think I'm gonna slow it back down. Yeah, very draggy, but yeah, I don't know why that's making me a little bit dizzy, but it was. But maybe I'm just weird. I had one person point out to me that they don't get car sick when they're reading in the car, but I always do. Which is a real shame, because car rides are usually boring unless you're driving. And then, I guess, magic in this game has a similar balancing problem that it does to, well, Dark Souls again. You know, we should just make a running tally of how many things you can compare to Dark Souls. In this case, magic in Dark Souls ends up being a bit overpowered in 1 and 2, because the long charge-up time and your frailty, that applies to every class, not just magic-using ones. And so mages actually have the added benefit of being able to stay at range, as opposed to more melee-oriented builds that have to stay close. So magic in Dark Souls ends up being extremely overpowered, because any downsides the mages have apply to everyone, so their major upside of being at a distance overshadows everything, as does the general resistance enemies lack to magic. Most enemies, there are a few exceptions. In this game, the similar thing applies. Like, magic is supposed to take longer and use up resources, take longer to use and use up a finite resource, your MP pool, but both of those are mitigated because every action has a charge up time, so even a basic attack has that commitment period. And B, your limited MP pool can be easily restored by just running around a bit. Like later fights, when we're running low on MP and need to restore it mid-battle, that might make it trickier for Ashe to function as well offensively as she always does. But it's a small issue and easily rectified with the ethers we're finding all over the place. And the fact that she is getting a lot of augments to make them even more useful for her. An embroidered tippet, I think? Yeah, the embroidered tippet. That is an accessory that boosts the amount of experience points you earn, I believe. And I forgot to mention another accessory similar to that we picked up in the Urutan Yensa Sandsea. Or maybe it's pronounced ogre. Robert Jordan used the same spelling for a species and it was pronounced ogre. Anyway, point is, it was called the Golden Amulet. And let's see. Let me find them. Yeah. Embroidered tippet doubles the experience points you earn, useful for AFK grinding. And the golden amulet doubles your license points earned. That is a very, very handy accessory to have. You definitely want to make sure all of your characters can use it, and then you can save time grinding by just putting it on them. Excuse me. And, yeah. Just grind a lot with that on. Well, no. You avoid the grinding by just going through areas like normal with that equipped to your characters periodically. Like, whichever ones you want to excel. For now, I'm going to leave it off so everyone grows at a roughly even rate. But if I feel like someone's falling behind, I'll give them that golden amulet to have them catch back up. But for now, we'll let the ladies and Vossler kick all the ass as we finish exploring the last bit of this area. And then it'll be on to the final section of the Nam Yensa Sandsea, and of course that final section has our final destination, the Tomb of Wraithwall. Way to go, Fran! Yeah, I think these guys, since they're earth element, they actually absorb wind element damage, so I would not recommend using the arrow spell on them. If you have a red battle mage, having them use dark when they're clumped together like that can be useful. They don't resist dark. Or if you have any items called motes for an area of effect spell other than a wind element, that should also work really well. But otherwise, just avoid using wind, because that's not really useful. Although, speaking of useful, I love having access to Cura. It's such an amazing spell. There's another Drake over there. I'm just gonna avoid it for now. Just gonna continue killing the big birds. And I'm actually getting close to time, so I'm gonna go ahead and speed things back up to finish exploring this area quickly. Thank goodness for Vossler and Ashe in this group. Pinello and Fran would have had such a tough time with a flying enemy like that. Come on, Ashe, pick the thing up. Ugh. Heavy coat. Now, I was about to ask who just did 2 damage, but the answer's obvious. Fran. Stupid hammers. Alright. Gonna run quickly back to the last area, and then we'll move up towards the Tomb of Wraithwall, and then I'll call that an episode. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's actually get there first. Yeah, it's a real shame Aqua isn't an area of effect spell. That would have been so handy. Sadly, the only water element spell you learn is that one, the base level Aqua spell. Oh, these guys are here again. You still wandering these reaches? Time to give up treasure hunting, I'd say. The shining bird'll peck at your bones, boy. Boy? Lo there, adventurer. If you're truly set to going to the Valley of the Dead, I'll give you some advice. The avian there is said to be invincible, but it has a weakness. I'm sure that Urutan Yensa knows something. The Sandsea is theirs, you see. You can't just go giving people fool advice like that. What if they actually went out and tried to do it? That'd be blood on your hands. That said, if anyone knows the way through the Valley of the Dead, it's the Urutan Yensa. But how to ask? They don't speak our tongue. By the by, you need anything, take a look at my wares. You might just be surprised at what you find. Ooh, he's upgraded his inventory. Neat. Okay. So, you know what? I'll actually call it an episode here. Next time, we're gonna proceed into the Valley of the Dead and use, hopefully, all this new equipment here to kick all the ass. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Spaced Oyster, signing out.